everyone, welcome to the Tax Experience. This is what it is. This is an actual kind of show I'm going to be doing maybe once a week or once fortnightly. I don't know exactly how I'm going to do this. This is the first of its kind. I've been meaning to do this a while, and what it is really just hot takes on certain topics. I talk a bit about stuff, you know, and I didn't want to do separate videos for it, just wanted to do it an all-in-one type of thing. So tell me if you guys like it. If you don't, you know, then I'll switch it up. But yeah, there's a few things I want to talk about. Firstly, I hope everyone's been safe out there. Here in the UK, you know, with this pandemic, baby, it's, I think it's worse than people are saying it is. I think it is. Things are getting, you know, back to not normality, because things are never going to be the same again, but it's getting there. It's getting there. I think stores are opening up. You know, you can go into restaurants now, you know, whilst maintaining social distancing. Went to the cinema, went to the theater. Was it last Friday? Went to watch Unhinged. I'm gonna talk about that in a bit as well. But yeah, things are getting back to normal, but it's not like that in all parts of the UK. And I know in the US it's crazy there too. But look, enough of that. Let's just get on with some of these topics that I want to talk about. Now, if you can hear some pitter patter in the background, I'm sorry, it's finally raining. We had a crazy heat wave like 3-4 days ago. Your boy was melting. And there's nothing I could do about the rain right now, so bear with me. But first things first, cinema. Went to the cinema. It opened last Friday. Social distancing measures and whatnot. So I thought, you know, let me go and check out Unhinged. Went to the theater not really knowing what to expect. Not knowing, like, you know, are we going to have to wear masks in there? You know, I can't be wearing a mask whilst I'm sucking my drink through a straw. Do you know what I mean? I need my popcorn, need all of that stuff. But suffice it to say, it was cool. It was really cool. I tend to usually go to the cinemas during the daytime anyway, because I'm going to be honest with you, as much as I love people, I don't really like people. You know, I can't be around too many people at the same time. It kind of bugs me. But over here, I'd say Cineworld is my theatre of choice. I've been with them for like over a year. Love it. Very clean cinemas, which is really important, even pre-COVID. You know, and I'm glad they're still around. I know they're owned by Regal in the US, but you know, it hasn't really taken a toll on them. But there is another cinema near me called View, which I used to go to very regularly. I got an email from them saying that they're shutting their doors. Some areas, not View Cinema as a whole. So, you know, what can you do? But yeah, great. It's great. They've got a special, you know, Cineworld have a service where it's called Cineworld Unlimited, where you pay around £18 a month, like $21, and you can go as much as you want, and you get like 20% off food there. Popcorn, ice cream, god damn. It's amazing. Amazing. Had a great time. But look, Unhinged. I saw the trailers, and I'll be honest with you, I wasn't really expecting much. I was expecting something very simple, something that I've probably seen before in various incarnations in other movies. And I'm gonna be honest, that's exactly what I got. I saw it, I thought it was decent. It wasn't actually mind-blowing. It didn't do anything to kind of, it's not really innovative. It's a pretty standard, you know, you messed with the wrong guy today type of movie. Now, I didn't dislike it. I just think that it's a by the numbers. It's something you're gonna watch and you're gonna say, okay, you know what? I've seen this before in various other movies. It takes bits and pieces from everything. But you know, it was a good time. It was just good to go back into the cinema. So maybe it's a worse movie than I think it is, but I was just happy to be back there, just eating my popcorn and my ice cream and my Diet Pepsi. I don't know why I do this. I'll get like a kebab, right? I will get a kebab. I will get like KFC, and then I'll say, yeah, give me a Diet Pepsi with that. People look at me like I'm crazy. I just like Diet Pepsi. What can I say? And I'm gonna be honest, if there was anything else which was new in this cinema, I probably would have watched that first. Unhinged wasn't really on the top of my list, but it's the only thing new in the theatre right now. The only thing, I mean, they're doing Inception, they're doing the Christopher Nolan stuff because they're trying to get you ready for Tenet, which is out on the 24th over here. Guess who's gonna see that first? Me, baby. I'm already gonna book my tickets. God damn. Can't wait for that. All that aside, I'd probably give Unhinged a 6 out of 10, because there are some bits in the movie which are just stupid. You're looking at certain things and you're thinking, you could have done either A, B, or C, and you chose D, baby. Now, in any other circumstance, D would have been great, but here was not the way. I don't know what to say. Bars. A good way to pass an hour and a half, I guess. It's not boring if there's nothing else on, but I wouldn't put that on the top of your list of movies to see. Now, during this pandemic era, I'll be honest with you, I've been binge watching a lot of TV shows. Up till about a couple of weeks ago, I had never actually watched The Umbrella Academy. Yeah, I saw the Netflix poster and everything, and I thought, okay, another superhero kind of series. It's not grabbing my attention. And everyone kept telling me, watch it, and I watched both seasons, and I love it. I love it. I think it's brilliant. It's not The Boys, but it's great. I had a really good time watching it, and there's no point me recommending it because I think everyone has seen this. What I will recommend is something on Prime, which I had some friends tell me about, but not a lot of people have seen it, and I don't understand that. You guys, you need to watch, and you guys may be looking at me like I'm stupid because you've probably already seen it. I don't know how big this is in the States or whatever, but from what I understand with my friends, a lot of people have missed it. Into the Badlands. God damn. I watched 3 seasons. I binged watched 3 seasons in I don't know, it was a ridiculous time in a few days. This show is absolutely amazing. It is amazing. It's martial arts, right, but with an amazing story, and it is just spectacular. Guys, watch it. Watch the first episode and tell me you're not hooked already. Into the Badlands, watch that. Love it. Can't wait for the 4th season. That's my favorite show right now. Favorite show. Until, of course, season 2 of The Boys comes out. Because I can't wait for that. I can't wait. I'm not going to lie, this COVID shit is crazy. I know 4 couples who were so in love before all of this, and now they're spending 24 hours a day with each other, and they have lost their minds. They're ready to just kill each other. 4 breakups. Damn. It's getting crazy. See, I was smart. See, a lot of you people, you're living with your partners. I'm like, no. I'm gonna keep my place, you keep your place, baby. We'll meet in the middle somewhere. Shit. See, I'm too smart, baby. Now, fellas, look, I need your advice on this, yeah? This is off topic, but whilst we're on the subject of relationships and stuff, right? So check this out. So I get introduced, my girl introduced me to, women always have so many friends. So she's got a friend, a female friend, who is married, right? And they share a kid. They live together, right? And they've kind of been together for years, right? So they've fallen out of love. So, well, the woman has basically said to the guy, I don't feel the same, but for the sake of the baby, we're going to still stay in the house, right? And, nothing's going to happen. We're not going to be intimate. We're going to have separate bedrooms and everything. So we're just together for the sake of the kid, right? And, she's not ugly, okay? So here's the thing. We're sitting there and she's telling us this whole thing. Obviously, my girl already knows the story because she told me and I laughed. And I'll tell you why I laughed. Because they have not been intimate for about 2 years now, right? And the guy, her man, has not complained, right? Not complained even once, okay? And she's like, he's amazing. She's telling us he's amazing, he is, he hasn't even spoken about it. He's not made a big deal about this and everything. And he's amazing. And you know what I did? I laughed. Wholeheartedly, I nearly choked on my drink. And she's like, what's so funny, brasstax? What's so funny? What do you find so amusing about this? And I'm like, you trying to tell me a guy living in the house with you is not getting anything from you, right? And he's just chilling, he's chilled about it. She's like, yeah, isn't that amazing? I'm like, no, it's not amazing because he's getting somewhere else. What part of this don't you understand? If a guy's cool with it, that means he's being satisfied elsewhere. I don't understand why you don't understand. She looked at me like I was crazy. Come on, guys. Listen, fellas, some of you live with your girl, whatever. You got girlfriends, you got wives, whatever. If your wife, your girlfriend turned around to you and said, listen, I don't want to give you any for 1 month, you're going to go absolutely ballistic. What is going on here? Why are women so naive to this? This is crazy. I mean, don't get me wrong. The guy loves his kid. But I mean, come on. It's crazy. She looked at me like I was stupid. What's going on? I don't know what to say. Guys, what do you think? You think I'm the crazy one? You think this can happen? Or is she just naive as hell? Because I think she's naive as hell. That's what I think. I mean, I asked her. Like, I'm sure you got an itch that needs scratching every once in a while. She's like, yeah, but then I just, resort to other means. And I'm like, cool. I'm like, so does he. But not in the way you think. But fellas, tell me what you think. Am I tripping? Ladies, tell me what you think. Am I tripping? I don't know. But let's get on to the next subject regardless. Consoles. I haven't really spoken about this because I've kind of been just sitting back watching. My thoughts is that the PlayStation 5 is going to absolutely dominate. Because on paper, the Xbox One Series X looks like the more powerful console. And it does. On paper, it does. But I felt that and I've spoken to a number of friends who are, who know everything about PCs, and they said the way the architecture is designed on the PlayStation 5 would yield better results. It's going to run so much better. But from what I'm hearing today, through various sources and just on the internet, is that the PlayStation 5 is struggling with 4K. But irrespective of that, in terms of games I'm excited for, I mean, let's be honest, the PlayStation 5 has been wiping the floor with the Xbox One Series X. People are buying both on launch day. I don't have a horse in the race, but clearly the PlayStation 5 has been dominating. We all saw Halo Infinite, and that looked like it could run on the Xbox One. Now, I appreciate that they probably started developing this game during about 3 years or so ago. I get it, but it did not look up to par. The only games that really impressed me were the new Horizon sequel that looked absolutely amazing, and Ratchet and Clank for the PlayStation 5. Just wow. If you could really travel through worlds, through levels like that, that's some pretty groundbreaking stuff. I do love that Xbox is really pushing Game Pass. All of those games we saw were going to be free on Game Pass. Well, people say free on Game Pass like we're not paying for it. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, I like that they're all going to be available on that, and I think that's a real good selling feature that the PlayStation 5 really doesn't have. So, I mean, both are doing their thing, but I know there's a few big announcements Sony is hiding right now, and we're going to see them soon, so they're just going to... I just think the PlayStation is probably the better console in terms of games, in terms of exclusive games. But if the console is struggling with 4K, that's going to be a big problem. I think people are tired of 1080p, and if it's gonna upscale to 4K, then what is it doing that the PlayStation Pro doesn't do? But either way, I am excited for both consoles. From what I understand, they're getting released in November. I can't wait to pick those bad boys up. I really can't. It's gonna be awesome. That being said, let's segue into our next topic. 4K 120. Do you guys care? Do you care about 4K 120 with HDR? How much do you care? Do you care enough to buy a new TV? That's what I want to know. How realistic do you think 4K 120 is? The reason I say that is because I know Xbox have a number of games that are 120, but the truth of it is only one is 4K 120, and that's Ori. See, you guys are going to say I'm talking shit. Do you know how hard it is to get a game to run at 4K 120 with HDR, ray tracing, and all the bells and whistles? It's going to be damn near impossible on these consoles. I mean, that's the way I feel about it. Now, could you get current gen games to run at 120 if they're currently 60? Sure. Because all you're doing is upping the frame rate, but you add ray tracing and you add all the other bells and whistles that next gen provides, it's not going to hit 120. Now, I know they said that Halo Infinite's multiplayer is going to be 120, not at 4K. I think we're going to get the same options in next gen that we get in current gen, which is favor resolution, favor frame rate. Frame rate you could reach up to 4K 120, but it would simply be the frame rate is the only thing that changes in the game. Whereas if you want all the graphics, all the bells and whistles, I think it's going to be the same frame rate, but with just ray tracing and everything else. I just can't see it happening. I can't see it happening. Let's not forget that a lot of promises were made on this gen, on current gen consoles that they couldn't deliver on. But I guess we'll wait and see. But I would, guys, if you've got OLEDs or QLEDs, right? If you've got a QLED circa 2018, in my opinion, Q9 FN, which is still, in my opinion, the best QLED ever. Right, or you got a Q90 from last year, or even you've picked up the Q90T just because you needed to upgrade or whatever. Do that because you want to upgrade. Don't do that specifically for consoles in mind, because I don't think, I think we're gonna be having this conversation a year from now, and there'll be like 3 4K 120 games with HDR, and they're all independent games. You know, that's what I think. I could be wrong, and I'd love to be wrong, but I just don't think you can reach 4K 120 with next-gen graphics. But I guess on the other side of the spectrum, some of you may want to purchase like 4K TVs just to future-proof it, which I get. I guess if you want to future-proof it and you want that 2.1 just in case, then by all means go ahead. But it's exciting times, and that leads me on to my next topic, which is, guys, I need your help. Okay, I've currently got a Q90R, and I do love the TV, but I think it's time for an upgrade. I was lucky enough to get this TV for dirt cheap, right? And I've got a friend who's offering near enough what I paid for it initially anyway. And I thought, okay, this may be a good time. And if you are going to get a TV, I guess you want to get a TV with 2.1 capabilities, right? So I'm at a bit of a quandary because I am stuck between two TVs. Two TVs of which I have seen in person, which I really like, and which I'm not paying full retail price for either one. Let's just say they are both kind of within the same price range, give or take a couple £100. Both flagships, and both at around 75 inches. This is the problem I made. See, I got this TV at 75, and once you hit 75, you cannot go back. You can't go back down to 65, you just can't. The immersion, everything, just how good things look, it just, yeah, you can't. I screwed myself up, people. And you know what I hate? Someone explain this to me, okay? Because I don't know why this is. You know, when you're looking at TVs, you're looking at a 55, let's say it's $1,000. You know, a 65 will be, what, 2,000. A 75 will be like 3,000 more. God damn. Why is there such a big gap in price between 65 and 75? That's across the board with all TVs. Why is there such a big difference in price? That is ridiculous. Like right now, let's say you get an OLED for like a 65-inch CX for, let's say, 2,500 or 2,600. You get a 77 for 5,000 in this bitch. God damn. Vincent from HD TV Test, would you please answer this question? Add your own dry humor in the middle with a little ding when you say something suggestive. But would you please answer the question? Thank you very much. But anyway, the two TVs I'm looking at is the LG OLED 77-inch. And the other one is the QLED 900T. Now, I've read various reviews on the QLED 8K, and a lot of people have said it's a masterpiece, and there have been 2 reviewers on YouTube, including HD TV Test, which has pretty much destroyed that TV. And I've seen a lot of people in forums and what Vincent had to say about that TV, and it looked really bad. But I've seen the same TV. They gave me the remote control and let me mess around with it a bit in store. And I didn't see any of those issues on that TV. I saw, I don't know whether there was a new software update or whatever, but I saw it once and there was crazy blooming on there, right? Which just put me off. And then I saw it again and there was no blooming whatsoever. So I don't know what happened in that time. I don't know whether there was a software update or not. But yeah, I didn't see all of the problems that he had, screen uniformity issues. I did see a tad bit of vignetting on the sides, but nothing major. And the reason, I know a lot of people are saying, look, there's no 8K content. And I totally understand that. Let me tell you how 8K could benefit me. I would tell anyone who's got a 55 and a 65 who are happy with those sizes not to invest in an 8K TV because you're not going to see the difference. The picture, I think 65 inches is the sweet spot for 4K. I really do. I don't think you're going to see any difference whatsoever. I know there was one idiot who reviewed this TV on a 65 inch. And we all know who he is. If you don't know who he is, you're probably better off for it. The difference is when you get a 75-inch, pixel density is an issue. Like, for instance, I'll give you an example. Like, I remember The Revenant. I've watched that so many times on my 65-inch. And when I watched it on the 75-inch, I could notice a lot more. There is a lot more detail, but it's not quite as sharp as a 65-inch. The 65-inch of The Revenant was razor sharp. Razor sharp. You could shave your pubes with how sharp that was. Nowhere near as sharp, but still more. You're seeing more detail because it's a larger screen. It's weird, right? So you do lose pixel density. It's not as sharp as a 65-inch. What the 8K will do is it will upscale the 4K, and it would make it look like you're still watching a 55 or a 65-inch OLED. It will be like, anyone who's got the 48-inch OLED will know how good that looks, because the pixel density is spectacular on that bitch, because they've squashed all these 4K pixels into that 48-inch screen, and that's exactly what's happening with a 75-inch. So you will be doing that not for 8K content, but to improve your viewing experience right now. Now, you're not going to get the OLED blacks, and you're not going to get a number of things. But then there is also a part of me saying, I'll tell you what I do hate. there are times where I've got a lot of iTunes digital content, right? And I see the Dolby Vision sticker. I'm not gonna lie to you, it pisses me off that I don't have Dolby Vision here. I've got to go elsewhere to give you the reviews on Dolby Vision, and it does irritate me, people. It really irritates me, right? So, and let's be honest, HDR10 Plus is just a dying format. Okay, I know a lot of people don't want to hear it, but it's not doing anything. Dolby Vision is absolutely everywhere. Let's just be real. Let's just keep it real. And in most cases, to me personally, Dolby Vision looks a little better than HDR10 Plus anyway. I've never seen a case where HDR10 Plus looks better than Dolby Vision. I'm gonna be honest with you. Never seen a case. Sometimes they look the same. Sometimes Dolby Vision looks a bit better. And it's a shame. I don't know what Samsung are doing. You know how bright Samsung screens are. Yeah, can you imagine Dolby Vision on that? God damn, panty dropper. But I will say, this Q900, Q950, not as bright. Clearly not as bright. Very vibrant, very colorful. Not as bright as my Q90R. That was obvious, but still a hell of a lot brighter than OLED. And then we go over to OLED. 77-inch CX. Now, if we're talking about future-proofing, that's got 4 2.1 ports. It's ready. This is gonna take you. This is as future-proof a TV as you're gonna see. But my one thing about OLEDs. What's worse than burning? The fear of burning. I know a few people who have OLEDs who don't even do anything to be worried about burning. They're not gamers or anything, but they're so worried about burning they're not actually enjoying the TV. That's a killer in itself. I do want the OLED, and there's just little things about the OLED which bug me. Burn-in is always going to happen. It's an accumulation of what you're watching throughout the years. It doesn't sit well with me. Just as life is your health and as you get older is an accumulation of what you've been doing prior to that, and the result is your quality of life at the when you hit 60 and above or whatever. It all depends on what you've been doing prior to that, which I get. It's the same with this OLED TV, and I do game and I do worry about that stuff. But here's the thing, people. My biggest concern was in the UK, you can't get warranty to cover burn-in. Guess what? You can now. Look, guys, if there's anyone who wants an OLED and is purely worried about burn-in, get it from John Lewis, especially in the UK. John Lewis has added protection kits, like £140, right? That's on a 75-inch, which is dead cheap, and it covers burn-in for 5 years. It specifically says burn-in. God damn. It's amazing. So now the question is, burn-in's not a factor anymore. Which one should I get? Should I get 8K? Get that extra sharpness, that extra detail that only upscaling to 8K can do? Or should I go OLED? You guys got to tell me, and don't just say OLED or 8K. Tell me why. I want to know why, people. I need to know. Now, finally, this is a really quick topic, but I just wanted to touch on it a little bit. So I can't remember whether I actually reviewed Midsommar or Midsommar, right, back in the day when it first hit 4K Blu-ray. Okay, all I'm gonna say is that movie looked absolutely stunning. HDR was super bright, like super bright, and it was a really, really good looking disc. I had a chance to watch the newly released director's cut on 4K Blu-ray, and with this movie specifically, the director's cut is a more complete movie. It is the way to go. However, this is how I feel, and this is my very, very quick review on the transfer. The 4K Blu-ray of the director's cut does look great. It looks sharp, it looks detailed, but it does not look as sharp and as detailed as the theatrical 4K Blu-ray. And the HDR, for some reason, does not pop as much as the theatrical cut 4K Blu-ray that was released months ago. It doesn't look as good to me. It really doesn't. I mean, I remember Midsommar being razor sharp, and this isn't quite there. If I would give Midsommar, the original version, a 9, let's say, I'd probably give this an 8, probably an 8. And it's a little disappointing because I know I've now seen how good it looks, how much the HDR pops, and because this doesn't pop as much, it bothered me. And it's still a really good looking disc, and pick it up because it is the definitive version to get, but it doesn't quite look as good as a theatrical version. Alright guys, that about does it. I wanted to keep it within like the half an hour time limit. If you guys are still listening at this point, goddamn, I applaud you. God damn, you're a true brasstax fan, but you already know. Alright guys, look, tell me what you think of this. Do you like things like this? If I was to do it once a week or once a fortnight, maybe there's going to be more news to report on. Let me know if you do like this. I'll try and get these up on iTunes as well, and see, give you the full, so you can just download it and listen to it wherever you want. But if you do like it, definitely hit the like button, definitely subscribe if you haven't already. Come on people, 4K Rockstar, you already know.